Have you ever noticed how some people who've had a really tough start in life just seem to have this inner strength? We're going to talk about that today. We so often focus on the scars that hardship leaves behind, but what if those same experiences also forge some incredible hidden strengths? Let's get into it.
This quote really just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the two sides of that coin. And it brings up the big question for us today. What exactly is that strength? And how on earth do some people come out of something incredibly difficult, not just surviving, but somehow stronger than they were before?
To really get it, we've got to look at the two very different ways this can all play out. There's the story we think we know, the one we hear all the time, and then there's a much deeper reality that's worth taking a closer look at.
So check out this contrast. The common view, and hey, it's a valid one, is that early hardship leads to permanent damage, that people are, in some way, broken by their past. But there's this other side of the story we don't talk about nearly enough. The idea that maybe you're not broken, maybe you're tempered. You know, like steel that's been put through the fire to make it unbelievably strong.
Okay, so how does this whole tempered by fire thing actually work in our heads? Let's dive into the first big psychological idea here, because it explains how our minds can actually adapt to early stress in a way that really prepares us for whatever comes next. The core concept is called stress inoculation. And yeah, it's pretty much what it sounds like. The theory is that when you're exposed to stress that's, well, manageable, stress you can actually survive, it sort of inoculates you. It vaccinates you against bigger, badder stressors down the road. It's like your own personal training program. And honestly, the best way to think about it is exactly like an emotional vaccine. You know how a normal vaccine gives your immune system a little preview of a virus so it knows how to fight the real thing? It's the same idea. Getting through those early challenges teaches your nervous system, hey, we've been here, we know this feeling, we can handle it. So later on, when life gets chaotic, you don't just overreact, you're ready.
But look, just being prepared for future stress, that's only half the story. It's not just about survival. There's this other, much deeper transformation that can happen, where people don't just get through hardship, they actually grow from it.
It's known as post-traumatic growth. And listen to that name again, growth. It's this incredible idea that positive psychological changes can happen because of a major struggle, not just in spite of it. So we're not talking about just getting back to normal here. We're talking about a genuine transformation.
And this distinction is absolutely crucial. We always hear people talk about resilience as bouncing back, right? Like an elastic band snapping back to its original shape. Post-traumatic growth, that's about bouncing forward. You don't go back to who you were. You can't. You move forward as someone new, someone who might be a little wiser, have a much deeper appreciation for life, and a rock-solid sense of their own strength.
So these are some big psychological ideas. But what do they actually look like in the real world, in our day-to-day lives? Well, this is where we see them show up as what you could almost call superpowers in disguise.
So yeah, what does this strength we keep mentioning actually look like? It's not some vague, abstract idea. Nope, it shows up as a very practical set of skills for navigating the, let's face it, total chaos of being an adult sometimes.
And here they are. First, being completely unflappable under pressure. You know that person? When a crisis hits and everyone else is freaking out, their heart rate actually seems to slow down. They get laser focused. Second, they can be absolute masters of problem solving. I mean, if you had to figure out complex, high-stakes situations as a kid, your brain just gets wired to find solutions. And finally, they become expert chaos navigators. They can thrive in unpredictable, high-stress jobs or situations that would make other people crumble. Because to them, chaos just feels familiar.
So this brings us to what's probably the most important part of this whole conversation, how we can start to shift our own perspective, to reframe our past and actually recognize these strengths in ourselves.
And let's be crystal clear here. The goal is never to glorify hardship. Pain is pain, full stop. But the point is to acknowledge that if you've been through it, you may have been equipped with a rare and powerful set of tools. It's about changing the story you tell yourself from "my past is a deficit" to "my past was a demanding, but ultimately effective training ground." So we'll leave you with this question to really think about. Look at the challenges you've overcome, the fires you've walked through. What did they teach you? What did they build in you? Because recognizing that, that's the first step to truly owning your strength. So what strengths did your story forge in you?